Vincent pulled me in, lips crashing against mine. Hungry, desperate, full of all the things we should have said in that living room days ago. I kissed him back, forgetting everything. My mother, the house, the guilt. In that moment, it was just us. The kiss deepened, his hands tracing places no one else had dared touch, and mine digging into his shirt, pulling him closer. My back hit the kitchen counter. He lifted me. We were reckless, breathless, consumed. It didn't last long. Guilt crept in like a ghost even before it ended. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, do well to subscribe and hit on notifications. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for always watching my videos. I'll never forget the moment I first saw him. Not because he was handsome, though he was, but because he was dangerous in the way only men with secrets are. It was raining that afternoon, and I had just returned from a weekend away with friends. My boots were soaked, my coat clung to me like a second skin, and the last thing I expected to see when I opened the door was a man in his 40s, tall, lean, with storm-colored eyes and a jaw cut from stone, standing in my mother's living room. "Juliana," my mother said with that awkward smile she saved for guests she wanted to impress. "This is Vincent. My fiancé." Fiancé? I dropped my keys. It wasn't the fact that she had moved on after my father's death. God knows she deserved happiness, but that she had moved on so quickly, and with a man I'd never even heard of. He extended a hand. Pleasure. I didn't take it. I stared. Something about him didn't feel real. He looked like the kind of man who belonged on the cover of a noir novel, not standing in my childhood home. He smelled like sandalwood and danger. My pulse did something strange, wrong, and I hated myself for noticing. Over the next few weeks, Vincent didn't just slip into our lives. He took up space, rearranged the furniture, cooked dinner like he'd always lived here. My mother swooned around him like a teenager, and I watched, observed, waited. But one night changed everything. I had just gotten out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, when I found him at the top of the stairs. He looked startled but didn't look away. His eyes lingered. He said nothing. Neither did I. That moment should have ended there. But it didn't. The next morning I told myself it didn't happen. That I imagined the way his eyes darkened, how his gaze dipped and lingered a second too long. I told myself I misread everything because admitting the truth was worse. I avoided him. For days. But he didn't avoid me. He was everywhere. In the kitchen cooking. In the hallway reading. On the porch smoking a cigar like he owned the place. And every time our eyes met, it felt like something unspoken passed between us. Something we weren't allowed to name. "Why don't you like him?" My mother asked over breakfast one morning. Her voice was light, but I could hear the insecurity beneath it. "Vincent's a good man. Thoughtful. He's made me happy." I didn't answer, because I didn't know how to say, "It's not that I don't like him. It's that I like him too much." I hated myself for it. One night, around midnight, I went downstairs for water. I found him in the living room, alone, shirt unbuttoned, a glass of whiskey in his hand. The TV was on but muted, casting flickers of blue light over his face. He looked up when I entered, then smirked. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked. I hesitated. "Yeah. You. Same." I poured a glass of water and stood awkwardly by the counter, unsure of whether to run or stay. He took a sip of his drink and leaned back on the couch. "You always walk around like that?" he asked, eyes low. I looked down. My ruba was bare like dit, my legs bare. My heart kicked. Not usually. Should I leave? Should I? I shot back, instantly regretting it. He stood slowly, walked toward me, and stopped just a breath away. The air thickened between us. "This isn't good," he said softly, voice gravelly. "No. It's not." But I didn't move. Neither did he. Then his hand brushed my hair back from my face. Slow, deliberate, wrong, and I closed my eyes. Just for a second. Long enough to feel the heat between us, the possibility, the danger. Then he stepped away. "I'm going to bed," he said. And he left me standing there, heart racing, breath shallow, knowing we had just crossed a line we'd never fully come back from. Some silences scream louder than words. The morning after our almost mistake, the house felt colder. Or maybe I just felt exposed. I didn't see Vincent at breakfast. My mother hummed in the kitchen, oblivious, buttering toast and rambling about redecorating the guest room. I kept staring at the doorway, waiting for him to appear. Part of me hoped he wouldn't. The other part needed him to. He walked in just as my mother kissed my cheek goodbye, keys in hand, heading out to her weekend yoga retreat. "Be good," she said, smiling. I almost laughed. If only she knew. The moment the door clicked shut, the energy between us snapped like a wire pulled too tight. I was pouring coffee with trembling fingers when he came up behind me, too close. "You've been quiet," he said. "So have you. I thought it was best." I turned to face him. "Why? Afraid of yourself?" He stared at me, and for the first time I saw something raw behind his usual cool: guilt, hunger, regret. Maybe all three. "You think I don't feel it?" he asked. "You think I wanted this?" "No," he whispered. "But you didn't stop it either." Neither of us moved. We were stuck in the gravity of something we shouldn't want but couldn't resist. Every rational thought begged me to leave the room, to run. But my body refused. His hand grazed mine. And that's when the dam broke. He pulled me in, lips crashing against mine. Hungry, desperate, full of all the things we should have said in that living room days ago. I kissed him back, forgetting everything, my mother, the house, the guilt. In that moment it was just us. The kiss deepened, his hands tracing places no one else had dared touch, and mine digging into his shirt, pulling him closer. My back hit the kitchen counter. He lifted me. We were reckless, breathless, consumed. It didn't last long. Guilt crept in like a ghost even before it ended. He pulled away first. "This can't happen again," he said, voice thick. I nodded, lying to myself. Okay. But even as I stood there, heart pounding, lips swollen, one thought echoed louder than any promise. It will. There's a look people give you when they know. Not when they suspect or when they guess, but when the truth has already rooted itself deep in their bones. That was the look my mother gave me the night she came home early. I hadn't expected her back until Sunday evening. But there she was, standing in the hallway at noon on Saturday, holding a bag of fresh flowers and pain in her eyes. I was coming out of Vincent's room, hair tousled, shirt inside out, a bruise blooming beneath my collarbone. We both froze. For a moment the world didn't move. Not the clock, not the air, not even the shame that flooded my veins like ice. Her mouth opened slightly, but no words came. She didn't need them. She had seen enough. Behind me I heard the door creak. Vincent's voice, low and careless, until he saw her. "Whitney." She dropped the flowers. "Don't." The sound of petals hitting the floor was louder than any scream. "I came back because I missed you," she said quietly, eyes locked on me. "But I guess I was already replaced." I tried to speak. I did. "But what do you say when the woman who raised you is staring at you like a stranger?" Vincent stepped forward. Guilt etched across his face, but she raised her hand. "No," she said. "Not one word. From either of you." She turned and walked out the front door. And this time she didn't come back. It's been 7 months. I haven't heard from her since. Vincent left a few days later. No goodbye. No letter. Just silence. I still live in that house. Alone. I walk the halls we ruined, sleep in the bed where I once dreamed of escape, and stare at the kitchen where it all began. People say betrayal is a blade, but they're wrong. It's a mirror. And every time I look into it, I see exactly what I became the moment I let desire rewrite my loyalty. Have you ever imagined yourself in this kind of situation? What did you do about it? Subscribe to this channel and hit on notifications for more interesting stories like this.